Last year on this Mother's Day holiday, Dallas Braden and the Athletics made history by pitching baseball's 19th perfect game. Last night, Brandon McCarthy pitched his heart out only to lose in the ninth to a Royals team who have been playing outstanding baseball this season. Today it'll be Tyson Ross's turn to shut down the Royals, who have been baffled by the A's starting rotation this weekend at Kauffman Stadium. It's the final game of the series, A's-Royals, coming up next. Well, indeed, happy Mother's Day. We are at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. It's a warm, breezy afternoon, but a nice day for baseball, and a nice crowd is on hand. They will enjoy the third and final game of this series. It's the Oakland A's. It's the Kansas City Royals coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Well, Mark Ellis back in the lineup today. He was not in the lineup last night. And Mark, just a 184 batting average, but really, when you grade Mark Ellis, the batting average, it's a little unfair because he does so many other things that maybe don't show up in a box score.
They're called the little things, Kai, but there's no doubt Mark Ellis is so special on this field defensively, and that's what you really have to look at. Sure, his offense is going to come, but the plays he makes at second, the thing about him, he should have won a Gold Glove. He makes all these plays look so easy. They're very difficult. This special one on Thursday at the Coliseum, he gets Travis Hafner. Instead of giving him a base hit, he gets the runner at the plate, and then he slides very hard into second base to break up a possible double plays. The A's scored another run, tied the game, ended up winning that game on Friday night. But the special little things that he does, he deserves to be out there every day.
Well, today the A's will send Tyson Ross to the mound. This is his fourth start. He has not won a game as a starter yet, but he's pitched pretty well.
Give him some offense. He deserves it because he's pitched outstanding baseball. Just one run of support in his last start against the Cleveland Indians. He has slowed down everything to where he's throwing ground balls. He's throwing a very good two-seam fastball. The slider's outstanding. His changeup is very good. If this young man gets some run support, he is going to be an outstanding pitcher and a winner for the Athletics.
The Royals will send left-hander Jeff Francis to the mound, so there's your pitching matchup. Jeff Francis and Tyson Ross should be a good one. Now, Mother's Day 2010, well, we know what happened. Dallas Braden made history. We're going to look back at that terrific day at the Coliseum when we come back. Final game of this three-game series. Of course, we all
Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T and by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. Mother's Day in Kansas City as we get set for the A's and the Royals, the final game of this three-game series. Of course, we all remember what happened last year on Mother's Day. Dallas Braden made history. We still love seeing these highlights. That is the final out. Dallas Braden, a perfect game against the Rays on Mother's Day 2010. Again, congratulations to Dallas Braden. That gets us to our true story, which is brought to you by McDonald's. On this date in Oakland A's history, Catfish Hunter pitched the 9th perfect game in the history of Major League Baseball. He did it against the Minnesota Twins at the Coliseum, and it was 1968. Perfect game, Catfish Hunter as a member of the Oakland A's. That is our McDonald's true story. When we come back, lineups and first pitch from the K in Kansas City. Stick around.
I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there in the Bay Area. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there in the Bay Area.
Well, thank you, Derek, and we echo that. Happy Mother's Day on a gorgeous afternoon in Kansas City, and it is the rubber game of this three-game series between the A's and the Royals. A's won on Friday night, and the Royals won last night in dramatic fashion. Game time weather today is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission is free, and the boardwalk is open this weekend. A beautiful 83 degrees. Pretty good breeze, but outside of that, comfortable weather. The Kansas City Royals have taken the field. Lineup cards are being exchanged off to the left of home plate. So we're just moments away from the first pitch in the series wrap-up game here from the K, Kauffman Stadium.
How about some shoes out here? The Cosmer's got the pink shoes on.
Yeah.
Mother's Day, and of course, so is the Big Pullman Foundation, but not that.
Many of the players will be using the pink bats.
But shoes? Pretty good.
Tyson Ross in the middle of your screen. He will be the starting pitcher for the Athletics today. A pair of one-run games so far in this series. So tight baseball, a lot of tense moments the last two nights. We'll see what happens this afternoon. Let's look at the A's lineup for the series finale. Crispin center, Barton at first, Jackson at left, Willingham will DH. Suzuki is the catcher, David Jesus in right. The then down at the bottom, it's Ellis at second, Kuzminov at third, and Pennington at short.
Newly acquired left-hander Jeff Francis on the mound for the Kansas City Royals, one of the veterans the Royals able to acquire during the offseason, and signed him, free agent. So the lefty's on the mound, not overpowering fastball, curveball, changeup. So I guess you could say be patient if you're a hitter today and let the ball come to you.
Defensively for the Royals, behind Francis, Gordon in left, Mitch Meyer in center, Jeff Francoeur in right, Betemit at third, Escobar at short, Getz at second, Hosmer at first, and Brian Pena gets his first start in the series behind the plate. So Francis is ready, so is Coco Crisp, who steps in the box. And the first pitch of the ball game. He is in for a strike, so we're underway from Kauffman Stadium. A's will head to Texas after the game and get set for a 3-game series against the Texas Rangers starting tomorrow night. 6-game road trip. A's are just about halfway through.
Well, the wind blowing very strongly to left field with the flags above right field. A little bit stronger than Friday night. So a lot of right-handed hitters facing this lefty Jeff Francis, and see what happens with that today.
Bouncer to Betemit, who handles in between hop, throws high. Hosmer tries to grab it and put the tag on Crisp, and he missed him.
Well, and Coco ran inside the bag and was after, but he did not make the turn towards second.
So Betemit handled a tough hop, but then he threw wide. And it's going to be an error.
Just talking about fly balls, first ball on the ground, but you're right. Betemit has played very solidly at third, but just airmail. A great play by Hosmer, and Coco going inside to avoid the tag, touched the bag, made a slight turn towards second base, but immediately turned right. So an E5 to start the game.
It's the first error in this series by either team. And here's Derek Barton. First pitch to Barton is a strike. Barton trying to get going. Just a 196 average with 6 RBIs. 0 for 4 in the series. 8 hits in his last 64 at bats.
Jeff Francis pitched a lot in Colorado, so that has to say one thing: as a ground ball pitcher. At least you hope, if you pitch in Colorado for a long time, which he did, that you are a ground ball pitcher, because the ball does carry very well at Coors Field.
Right field. Did Barton get enough? Francoeur's near the wall, and it's off the base of the wall. Coco Crisp will stop at third, and Barton a sliding double, and the A's are in business here in the first.
I don't know if it's the pink bat, but it didn't sound like it was going to be a home run.
I didn't think so either.
It had kind of a thud to it. And, of course, with the wind blowing from right to left, that might have had a little bit of effect also. 10th double for A's first baseman. Good swing as pitch was inside. He just lifted a little bit. And good idea to run hard, because you never know. And of course, an outstanding right fielder played the ball perfectly off the wall and made it a close play at second. Derek Barton having to slide to get in safe.
So second and third, nobody out for Connor Jackson. First pitch to Jackson on the outside corner, first strike.
The A's had the opportunity Friday night, first and third, nobody out, first inning, to get on the board early. Didn't happen. Fly ball, the right field. Francoeur kept Coco Crisp at third base, and then a double play turned by Hosmer in his major league debut.
And that's going to be a base hit to right field. Jackson pokes it into right. 1 run will score. Barton stops at third, and the A's have an early 1-0 lead.
Excuse me, because that's exactly the swing Connor Jackson put. He started to swing, tried to hold up, and then kind of followed through, but still just over the head. Hosmer at first base, and A's will take it. And more importantly, capitalizing on the error by Betemit, and that's one of the things as a pitcher. Instead of pitching, continuing to pitch out on the windup, you go immediately into the stretch, and sometimes good things don't happen. So far, they have not for Francis.
Here's Josh Willingham, who's the DH today. He takes a first pitch strike. Francis has been getting ahead of the hitters.
4 for 4.
Yeah.
First pitch strikes.
Last 3 starts, not good. 15 earned runs in 12 2/3 innings for Francis. Tap to Hosmer. He'll go to second for 1. That throws wide, and they got him at second. A very close play. Oh, Escobar was able to catch it and then reach back with his leg and just get his leg on the bag, and the out is there. The run does come in to score, so it'll be an RBI for Willingham.
A similar play Friday night. Hosmer made a perfect play, made a very good throw. This time maybe tried to avoid hitting the runner going to second base, and that is Connor Jackson. Connor kind of turning in towards the infield grass, which is a very smart play for a base runner, forcing the first baseman try to throw around him or over him, and Hosmer almost threw the ball into left field.
So 1 out, a pair of runs in as Willingham gets his 17th RBI of the year. And here's Kurt Suzuki. I think Hosmer had a chance to come home as well. The runner, Barton, was running, and I think there would have been a play there, but he's thinking, well, let's get a double play, but it turns out they only got 1.
And different situation than on Friday night, because there was already 1 out in the inning, so he turned the double play. But you're right, and in the situation too, the ball was not hit that hard by Willingham. You go by how hard the ball is hit, and that might have been a good time to go to the plate, cut down the run, and then try to get a double play.
(2-0) to Kurt Suzuki. Kurt hitting .245 with 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in, and a couple of hits in this series. 2 for 7. He scored a run. Donaire, and a couple of hits, fielder's choice, and the A's have 2 in the first. On deck is David DeJesus.
We all know that Kurt Suzuki and his wife Renee, proud parents of Malia, their daughter. First Mother's Day for Renee Suzuki. So congratulations to the Suzuki family, especially Renee, and having the little girl.
So now the A's another scoring opportunity. First and second, 1 out for DeJesus. .232, a couple of homers and 10 RBIs for the former Royal, David DeJesus. A couple hits in this series. Breaking ball, that's a good one. The A's right at 500, 17-17.
Again.
Yeah, keep saying it. 9-9 on the road, 8-8 at home. Like that last year, the whole year.
So I mean, Cliff Pennington hit the home run last night, the 3-run home run. The A's looked like they could come back and win and try to get a couple of games over 500 and build on that. Instead of going back and forth, 1 over and then back to 500. But good news, they have not dropped below 500 for a while. Curveball, first pitch, change up, second pitch, and at times David fooled a little bit, taking both of them.
Willingham at second and Suzuki at first. Fastball didn't miss by much. Francis wanted that one. He's looking for a little help.
I don't blame him. He got a pretty good pitch.
That is a pretty good pitch. Right fielder Francoeur shifted over quite a ways toward right center. Meyer, the center fielder, just a little bit toward left center, so they do not think DeJesus will pull the ball anywhere near the line. Francoeur quite a ways over. curve, and that spins out of the hand of Francis. So the count is even 2-2. That one's driven to right. Francoeur racing back and over, and he gets there and he makes the catch. They will try to double off Willingham, but he gets back. I'm going to chuck that one up to good positioning because he was playing. If he's playing a normal spot, that ball's all the way to the wall. And he was shifted over quite a ways, as we said.
Well, you cannot take a chance and assume you're going to get back safely if the ball is caught by Francoeur. He loves to throw. He has a very strong arm, and Willingham had to hustle to get back because it was a close play. But you're right, defensive situations, and it's one thing Ned Yost, the manager, said that with their new technology, and they do not have an advanced scout that's out on the road, but they determine a lot of times the positioning of the outfielders based on the scouting reports they get off the games. And here's a case where they have a lot of outfield assists. Gordon has 5 in left field. And the positioning took extra bases and probably 2 runs.
2 runs, that's right. Think about that. That's Mark Ellis takes a strike in the outside corner. 184 for Ellis. No homers and 5 RBIs. Seventh man to hit in the inning for the Athletics. Fastball, swing and miss.
The thing about Francoeur, the way that David DeJesus has hit the 2 balls in this series, triple and a single, exactly that same spot. So they cheated a little bit towards that same area and able to cut down the ball.
Breaking ball, and Ellis waited on it. Strokes it foul. 23 pitches in the first inning for Jeff Francis. Of course, when the first hitter of the game reaches on an air and a really routine throw for Bedemeet, that does not help the pitcher out. Inside to even the count at 2-2.
Mark Ellis, great approach with Jeff Francis, at least the ball he fouled off. Curveball, very slow curveball. Started to swing, fouled it off. That's a good way to get an extra swing, and just have to think right field.
Bounce to Bedemeet, backs up to get a good hop. Throws in time to get Ellis side retired. A's get a couple of runs and a couple of hits. There was also a royal error. 2-0, the A's lead. inning. Here's the lineup for the Kansas City Royals today. Chris Getz, Melky Cabrera. Cabrera will be the DH today. Gordon, Francoeur, Hosmer, Benamit, Meyer, Pena, Escobar. So we're seeing Meyer and Pena for the first time in this series.
Tyson Ross making the start, his first since his Cleveland start. That was the Coliseum. And for Tyson in the rotation, Seattle, Angels, Cleveland, and now the Kansas City Royals, first appearance against Kansas City. But for Tyson, he got 1 run support in his last start against the Tribe. He already has 2 before he takes them out.
Jackson, Chris DeJesus in the outfield for the A's today. Kuzmanov, Pennington, Ellis Martin around the infield, and Kurt Suzuki again behind the plate. Tyson Ross is ready as Chris Getz, the left-handed hitter, steps in. First pitch is a strike. Kuzmanov comes way in on the grass for Getz. 0 for 3 with a sacrifice last night for Getz. Did not play in game 1 of the series. Shallow pop-up. Jackson, see the glare of the sun on his glasses, so that tells you that sun could be an issue.
The Dodge Charger keys of the game for the Athletics win the series, get to Texas on a roll. It'll be the first home series loss if the A's can defeat the Royals today. And Ross needs the run support. He's already gotten 2 in the first day. And yes, happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers who are listening on our telecast throughout the world. I'm sure Comcast Sportsnet California has this one going a lot of places today. The Royals are not televising, so we welcome all the viewers today on this special Mother's Day.
Pennington gets a big hop. Melky Cabrera is retired.
Melky's wearing not only the wristbands, but you can't say the eye black because it's pink. Yeah, just check that into his eyes. So he's going all out today. Look at that.
So 2 outs here in the first inning. I want to wish my wife a happy Mother's Day back in the Bay Area. She's watching the game. And enjoying Mother's Day. A little chilly back home, yeah. I'm told. Not the case here in Kansas City. Very nice, comfortable, warm day.
Arizona, where Carol is with the daughters. So
yeah,
that's
right
nice,
where she
nice
should
place
be.
To be with the girls. Perfect. And no doubt, and I've said it many times, that the women in the lives of the players and baseball people, the wives, the Rock's very important.
Yeah.
Because of the travels, especially of baseball players, traveling party.
Well, for 6 months out of the year, week on, week off, they have to be the mother and the father. And it's not an easy job, and we appreciate it.
Just think of all the carpools you get to drive starting in October.
Yeah, that's right. Try to make up for lost time, which I don't think that's possible, but at least you can try.
At that, mom and young children, and they probably said, "Hey, mom, we're going to ball game today. Whether you like it or not, that's our present to you." Perfect day.
And a perfect bottom of the first for Tyson Ross. A couple of ground outs and a flyout. A's 2-0 after 1. Comcast Sportsnet California's Authentic Fan Fridays. $12 gets you a ticket in our value deck behind home plate, an Authentic A's t-shirt, cheer card, and a $6 food and drink voucher. The next Authentic Fan Friday is this Friday. Chicago White Sox against the A's. Log on to csncalifornia.com to get your tickets. Added bonus, Ray Fosse will be in the value deck on Friday with his broadcast partner, yours truly. We're going to do the game from the value deck on Friday night. So our broadcast booth will be right there, right amongst Rays fans. Probably some of Fosse's posse will be up there. So we're excited. It'll be fun.
And we just hope first pitch is 76 like it was the last homestand.
It'll be a little chilly up there. That's okay. So come on by and say hello if you're up there. Kuzminoff hits it hard in the hole. Escobar on the backhand. Kuzminoff's retired. So that's out number one here in the second inning. Francis threw 25 pitches in that first inning, so he's definitely looking for an easy inning.
Tyson Ross with 9, so very good shutdown inning for Tyson.
The Royals were looking for a veteran pitcher in the offseason. They signed Francis to a one-year contract, $2 million. He's 30 years old. And he's going to get the first 2 outs here as Pennington pops out.
Tough guy to bunt, Francis, because he throws a lot of off-speed pitches, and at timing for a hitter's trying to drag a bunt for a base hit, it's hard to wait, and that's exactly what Cliff Pennington did. Watch him just kind of stop and then jabbed at it, and you could hear everybody saying up, up. That means for the catcher to turn around, and there was the ball. Brian Pena.
First pitch to Coco Crisp is low. Francis had some very good years with the Colorado Rockies. In fact, he was their first-round draft pick in 2002, the 9th overall pick in that draft. And his 6'6" frame helps him there as he leaps up, makes the catch, and he has the inning he needed, a 6-pitch, 3-up, 3-down inning.
As for our inaugural Jewish Heritage Night, your Plaza Infield ticket will include a special A's yarmulke and a delicious food item served in the West Side Club. In addition, all participants will receive free parking as part of the Chevy Free Parking Tuesdays. For tickets to the game and more information, visit oaklandathletics.com/Jewish.
A's 2, Royals nothing, bottom of the second inning. Tyson Ross 3 up through down first inning. He faces Francoeur, Hosmer, and Bettamy. Two for 8 in the series for Francoeur. And he's going to loop it into right field for a base hit. There's a big full-page article, front page of Sports Page today about Jeff Francoeur and how he's still a young player, really, but is now a veteran leader on this team and helping the young guys. It was a very good article.
Well, he's been through a lot, and there's our good friend Jason Kendall, and Jason had rotator cuff surgery last September, and had a chance to visit with him this morning in the clubhouse, and he is anxious to get back. But, you know, he finally said, I tried to push it too much. He had September for rotator cuff. You're looking at a year. He actually was throwing during spring training. He said he happened to make one throw, and he felt it, so he had to shut it down a little bit. So he's waiting anxiously to get back, and the Royals are sure looking forward to his return to play. He's such a great player, and knowing Jason as well as we do, that not surprising that he tried to take a year-long surgery and turn it into about a month to try to get back.
Hit hard. Ellis on the dive. Grabs it, flips to second, and the ball shoots past Pennington. Nobody's covering third. Francoeur's going to dive, and he's out.
Oh, wow.
Tyson Ross
Wow.
raced over there, made the play. Man, oh man, what a play by Tyson Ross. Let's hope he's okay.
There is no way I thought Tyson Ross could beat Jeff Francoeur to the bag. Now they're going to check with Tyson, but Mark Ellis caught it, then tried to flip it to Cliff Pennington. Francoeur started, then stopped, and once he saw nobody was at third, here goes Tyson Ross for the dive, and he gets him on the left hand, and Bill Miller right on top of the play, but a tremendous play by Tyson Ross. The race is on, and there's the big 6'6" frame going after. Jeff Francoeur dive right in front. Get down, and there's the hand. Tyson Ross just actually might have pushed him off the bat. Yeah. But what a tremendous play. And, of course, everybody now thinks about Josh Hamilton trying to do the same thing at home against the Detroit Tigers, and he fractured a bone in the shoulder. And, well, that's the thing that you think about. In this case, it was a catcher, Victor Martinez, going after Hamilton at the plate when he and Brandon Inge converged on the ball by the dugout. But what a play by Tyson Ross.
And you saw Francoeur, when he got up at second base, he hesitated a little bit, and that probably cost him right there.
Well, and he hesitated, I'm sure, just because he couldn't see nobody was at third. He saw Kuzmanov picking the ball up and knew that Tyson Ross was a long way from the bag. What started out to be an almost tremendous play by Mark Ellis to get a force at second. So I don't know what they ruled, a base hit and what?
It was 4-6-1 on the putout.
4-6-1.
So it is a base hit for Hosmer. Ellis is going to catch it in the air and flip to first. So Hosmer gets back. So that's out number 2. Bettamy is retired. Actually 4-5-1, not 4-6-1. Kuzmanov is the one who retrieved the ball. So a crazy play. The A's get an out on it.
If Francoeur had reached third, it would have been an error on Mark Ellis, but saved him an error. But a lot of action very quickly in an inning in which a lot of pitches have been thrown by either pitcher.
Mitch Meyer in center field today.
Might be some football and basketball scouts in the stands watching Tyson Ross and say, wait a minute, this guy can move like this?
Tight end.
Yeah. Didn't play a lot of basketball. It was, I figure with his height.
See a little scrape on his right elbow.
It's called a strawberry. It's called a strawberry. You figure a strawberry, you either get those on your knees or your elbows or your arms when you're diving and you hit the dirt.
Maybe not a lot of pitchers are going to have it.
No. Not a lot of pitchers ain't going to attempt that play.
Check swing. Meyer did not go. So the count 2-1. Early score from Arlington. The Rangers with a 3-0 lead top of the second. So a 3 spot for Texas. That's the rubber game of that series. Sabathia and Ogando. So we'll keep an eye on that one. 3-0 Texas in the second. A lot of action for Ellis. He grabs it, side retired. A couple of hits, but Tyson Ross, watch this play. Terrific play by the pitcher. And the A's hold on to the 2-0 lead.
Bay Area, happy Mother's Day, and the mom and Ione, I love you, happy Mother's Day.
Rick Rodriguez, the A's bullpen coach on Mother's Day. Derek Barton goes after the first pitch, shallow center field. Meyer is there, and Barton is retired, 1 out.
And one thing about the slow curve from Jeff Francis, and think back to Bob Welsh when he won the Cy Young Award for the Athletics and slow curveball. Guys throw it in the first pitch. Hitters a lot of times will be looking fastball. Why do you swing it? And there's a lot of easy outs that occur on a slow pitch curveball, slow curveball that hitters don't really have to swing, but they make the commitment. In the case of Derek Barton, you have to provide your own power. The ball thrown as slowly as Francis threw the curveball. Barton, of course, hit the fastball almost out to right field in the first inning, but very soft fly ball to center.
Off-speed pitch there, and Connor Jackson rips it in the left. He's 2 for 2.
Well, after what happened Friday night with Connor Jackson, his left shoulder, good to see him swinging the bat well today. Said no problem with the shoulder. He had a scheduled night off last night. But back today, 2 hits, 2 at-bats, driven in a run.
Third hit in the ball game for the A's, and here's Willingham. We were talking about Jeff Francis and the fact that high draft pick for Colorado Rockies, and he was a good pitcher for the Rockies until injuries started to hit. He had a pretty good 3-year run. In 05, he was 14 and 12. In 06, 13 and 11. And then in 2007, 17 and 9. 215 innings pitched. And of course, that was the year the Rockies went to the World Series. So he was a big part of them making it to the World Series. He won a game in the Division Series. He won a game in the League Championship Series that year. He lost his only World Series start. He was probably their main guy. The disabled list in 08, the disabled list in 09 and surgery, and then twice on the disabled list last year. All because of shoulder surgery. That one's hit well, right field. Francoeur's back, now circles around it, and he's got it. Willingham is retired, 2 outs.
Now in this game, he has 4 ground ball outs because again, you think of Coors Field. You're pitching or playing 81 games at home, and they try to get as many ground ball pitchers as possible to pitch in their home park. So it shows you that you don't have to light up the radar gun to be able to be effective, and that's what we're seeing today in Jeff Francis. The exact opposite of the A's pitcher Tyson Ross, who has a very good live fastball.
Well, each time that Francis has been on the disabled list, 4 times in the last 3 years, it's been his left shoulder. And he's hoping now that maybe he's healthy again. He's 30 years old, so he has some years left to be successful, and maybe it'll happen here in Kansas City.
Jason Kittle said the same thing. Hit me well, because I'm going to continue to play. He's got a lot left, and the Royals know it, so that'd be good for Jason, and he will be back eventually, and maybe when the Royals come to Oakland, they make a couple of trips out west. If he's not on a rehab assignment, he'll be with the club.
Kurt Suzuki walked back in the first inning. Foul just below us. As Ray said, very stiff breeze. In fact, I think it's even becoming more breezy going out to left field. Flags are going straight out that way. Those flags that you see right there are out right center.
Unfortunately, it reminds me of 1967 when I was with Cleveland. We flew out of here with the wind blowing like that and played a little basketball as we took off, bouncing around. I didn't think I was ever going to make another flight.
Well, the fact that that was over 40 years ago and you still remember it,
oh yes,
must have been bad.
Because I was told it's tough flying out of Kansas City, and I remembered it. I think about it every time we come in here. Same airport. We'll be there this afternoon, heading to Arlington, Texas. Love Field in Dallas.
I hope the wind doesn't pick up even more. I'd hate to see you worried about it when we get on the plane.
Well, 40 years ago, maybe the planes weren't the same as they are now.
That's true.
Let's hope so. Let's hope it's not a 40-year-old plane.
Francis has it, and he'll underhand. Hit by Jackson. He is stranded. Bottom of the third coming up. It'll be Pena, Escobar, and Getz. 2-0 A's. Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Listen up, it's important. Kyle from Mountain View asks, when you guys are in Kansas City, do you prefer ribs, burnt ends, pulled pork, beef brisket, or sausage?
Yes.
Yes, 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 and yes. Awesome.
That's
little brisket. There you go.
That's a good one.
Now, yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, I need more than that. That's not enough. There you go. More. Okay, a little bit more. All right.
Boy, you got to have a big mouth to eat that and the double bread on top.
That's my favorite.
Somebody
This
said
little Wonder Bread.
Somebody said that hurts. But it does after you eat it.
Well, that was your beef brisket, so that was my choice right there.
That was beef.
Yeah.
You know, the best part about looking at that, he had his gloves on.
Of course he did. Tough to beat the barbecue here in Kansas City. Smell it when you pull in. Ross knocks it down, picks it up, flips to first. Brian Pena's out, and that's one out.
Well, I had an opportunity today to visit with last night's home plate umpire, Bill Miller. He's a local young man from Santa Cruz. Said he called his mother last night, Judy. Wish her a happy Mother's Day. And she said, Bill, you okay? Because we hammered him pretty hard last night. So we have an apology to the umpiring crew for some things that were said last night regarding what we consider, I thought was a continuation play at second base. And that's when Alex Gordon rounded the bag and did not retrace his steps, didn't touch the bag, but also saw Joel Skinner talking to Bill Miller, and he clarified it, talked to Joel, and Bill also clarified the rule. And then it was called a timing play, in that the run had already scored. The run had scored when Alex Gordon rounded second base going back to first. It was a fly ball to right field. Gordon missed the bag, and of course it was not an umpire who saw it. It was not Bill Miller's call behind the plate. But you see the runner at third tagging with Gordon going back to first base. Well, the runner scored, obviously, before Gordon, the runner at first, was tagged out. So with the run scoring being a timing play, regardless of whether they would have called Gordon out at second or not, which they didn't, the run would have scored. So it was going to be a 3-run inning regardless. And so Bill said he got a few text messages, but what I admire about what Bill did and his umpiring crew, they looked at the game, they looked at the plays, and obviously heard us talking about it. And I made it a point of talking to Bill, and basically he clarified it. I said I'm going to clarify today on the air, which we're definitely doing, because he made the right call. And the play at third in the last inning when Tyson scored the winning run on the sac fly. Bill also made a very good point that a lot of times you watch the upper body of the runner at third and forget about his foot. His body's always going forward, but he's pushing off with the foot. Mm-hmm. And it was a very, very close play anyway, but it was a play in which was called correctly. So our apologies to the umpiring crew, especially Bill Miller, and sorry that his mother had to worry about it all night.
Yeah, we felt bad about it, and because we had the rule wrong, you and I, and so again, apologies to Bill Miller and his umpiring crew who made the right call.
And his mother.
And we said after the game, hey, that play costs the A's a run, and as you just explained, it did not. Right field where DeJesus gets back, and now he's got it, and that's out number 2.
Well, this is the one. Billy Butler hit the ball to right field, and clearly, then everybody saw that Gordon did not touch second going back to first base. He clearly just ran past it, and you can say he ran over it. I don't think he touched it. And then this one, Bill Miller is looking, and again, as Dyson, the runner at third base, was pushing off, and it could look like his heel, his foot was off, but even if his heel was up, his toe is still pushing off the bag, because base runners use the bag as kind of a starting block as a sprinter would. So, but again, I know I have heard that sometimes an umpire will not look at the game. But Bill said specifically, we look at games, controversial plays. We want to make sure that we got them right, and that's a credit to the umpiring crew.
Fisted towards short. Pennington will go to first. Side retired. So a 1-out hit by Escobar, no damage done. We're headed to the 4th. 2-0 A's. Brought to you by AT&T. Who were the two catchers to catch Catfish Hunters and Dallas Braden's perfect games? We showed you at the top of the show, of course, last year, Mother's Day, Dallas Braden. On this date in 1968, Catfish Hunter threw his perfect game at the Coliseum. First year the A's were in Oakland. Unfortunately, no video. Just a couple of still photos of Catfish pitching. There's one of him in the clubhouse after the game. That's it.
Great calls by Monty Moore, good friend, on the call in 1968, the first season the A's in Kansas City. And unfortunately, we know that Catfish Hunter passed away. And the real unfortunate thing is battery mate. Lived up in the Grass Valley area. He's also passed away. And a very good catcher. Catch a perfect game, you got to be good.
Yep.
And especially with Catfish, because Catfish never shook off a catcher.
No.
So you know that the gentleman whose answer you will find out soon did a very good job catching it.
1-2 pitch to DeJesus. Right there, strike three called. DeJesus. He knew it, and that's the first strikeout for Francis.
And that's what a pitcher with a sneaky fastball can do. You think about the slow curve, the changeup, and here comes the fastball. It freezes you. So you think, I'm not going to get it, but it's a perfect time to throw it. 0-2. Hitter's got to be thinking off speed, although they call it pitching backwards when you throw something hard when you're ahead of the count and something soft when the hitter has the count in his favor.
Mark Ellis down the right field line. That's good to get down. Francoeur has it, and probably don't want to mess with that arm, and Ellis knows that. He stops at first with a one-out single.
Well, he needed that. Needs it badly. Needed to hit badly, but smart enough when he got the hit around first base and said, that's Jeff Francoeur playing right field. I don't want to try to stretch a single into an out because Francoeur just waiting. You have to really enjoy, even though it makes it tough on the base runners for the A's, but you have to enjoy watching an outfielder throw as well as Francoeur does. Ichiro, Francoeur, Chu, three guys' names that come to mind very quickly. They throw very well. Coincidentally, all three right fielders, and you have the strongest arm usually in right field. Taking away anything else from other outfielders who work on the art of throwing and accuracy to bases, but the three guys can shut down the running game very quickly.
Kuzmanov bounced out to short in the second inning. Rangers now leading 4-0 in the top of the third. Elvis Andrus knocks in a run. Rangers over the Yankees.
Neftali Feliz is back.
Yeah.
Their closer. Even last night.
Michael Young last night, 4 for 4, hit a home run. He now has 26 RBIs and he's hitting .348. I think the Rangers are glad they did not trade him, and I think they were very close to trading him.
I was just going to say, maybe there's some disappointed teams who were negotiating, concerned about his contract.
No question.
I mean, he's going to perform. He's going to hit.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be bad at any place he plays defensively. I mean, he's just a very steady player.
So all the controversy around Michael Young, really, as soon as they signed Beltre, and that was what I don't know exact date, but pretty much January, February, all of spring training, and Michael Young's having a terrific season. Kuzmanov with a shot to left field, and that's a hit. Back-to-back one-out singles for the A's.
They signed Beltre after Beltre turned down the A's offer.
Again. That's
well, a couple of guys struggling for the A's. Good to see them get a couple of hits in this inning. Mark Ellis and now Kevin Kuzmanov, who's swinging at first pitch in his actually the ground out on the fourth pitch. But last night, first two at bats, swing to the first offering. So a base hit today. Gets to say hello to the umpires. I haven't been down here in a while, so it's good to say hello to you. These guys will start swinging and swinging like we know they can.
Pennington takes a strike on the inside corner. Pennington tried to bunt in the second inning and popped out to the catcher. The Indians and the Angels will get underway. About an hour. That's the rubber game of that series as well. Carmona and Heron matchup. The Angels in first place in the AL West.
Cliff Pennington, a home run, and this was off Crow. First ones he's given up in his young rookie career. Fastball that Cliff Pennington just dropped the head of the bat. And into the bullpen of the Athletics, tie the game at 3.
Ellis dancing around at second. Pitch is outside.
Watching Mark Ellis at second base, he did it at first, doing it at second also, and I don't know that he's thinking about running, but he's trying to do what the great base runners and you saw Ricky Henderson do for so many years, distract the pitcher. If he can get him to look a couple of times and maybe not concentrate 100% on the hitter, he might get a pretty good pitch to hit.
He does go, and the ball is tapped slowly to third. Bettamy charges. He throws on the run, and they get Pennington. So Mark Ellis did have a plan. He was going to go, and both the runners move up, second and third, 2 outs.
Well, the ball got into the hands of Cliff Pennington with Ellis running, and not a bad play because there are times when the third baseman vacates his position, and a ball inside can be pulled past where he normally would be playing into left field for a base hit, but it's hit too slowly. Bateman was able to handle the play. If that's Gerard Dyson, he scores.
He doesn't stop.
He does not stop, and as soon as throw went to first base, Mark Ellis thought about trying to score, but Hosmer has a pretty good arm at first.
So see if Coco can knock in a pair. First pitch breaking ball just a bit outside. Reached on an air and scored in the first, did Coco Crisp, and then bounced back to the pitcher in the second. On deck is Derek Barton. There's a liner leaping up as Getz, makes the catch. Side retired. A's get a couple of hits. They strand 2. Bottom of the fourth coming up. Still 2-0 Athletics.
Need you back.
Well, that gets us to our AT&T Trivia answer. Who were the 2 catchers to catch Catfish Hunter and Dallas Braden's perfect games? Indeed, it was Landon Powell, and gentleman Ray was talking about the late Jim Pagliaroni.
And I'm sure Landon, that was nice of him to say that, but Allison, he thinks as much about his wife on Mother's Day with Holden, her son. So to Allison and Holden, in case, I know that was nice for him to do that because he caught the perfect game, but come on. Say, Bertie, did you get him to say Happy Mother's Day to his wife on behalf of his son Holden?
Not. Come on. I'm staying out of this one. Gordon, Francoeur, and Hosmer here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
I'm sure Landon has already called home. Tyson Ross in the first 3 innings. Pitch count 9-9-9.
Yeah.
7 ground ball outs. Sorry, make that 5 ground ball outs.
4-pitch walk leading off the 4th inning.
Well, and after the second pitch, he stood on the mound and lifted up both arms, kind of stretching. And of course, the great play he made in the second inning, diving to get Francoeur out at third base on an overthrow at second.
Runner goes. Francoeur swings and just gets a piece of it. So that's the first walk by Cody Ross. Tyson Ross, I should say. Cody Tyson. We'll see those guys in a couple weeks. He has not struck anybody out. Yankees score a couple times in the 3rd. Right? Ross knocks it down, picks it up, and he'll get the out at first.
Well, it's a good play by Tyson Ross because that was going to be a tough play for Pennington. It was not hit that hard, ball in on the hands of Jeff Francoeur. So a good idea. Pitcher knocked the ball down and gets the hitter, even though the runner does get to second base. But I don't know that he could have turned 2. He catches the ball, maybe, well, he probably gets the runner at second base, but at least he gets 1.
So Gordon now at second, and here's Hosmer. Hosmer takes low. Hosmer had a base hit in the second inning. It would qualify as an infield hit. Kind of a strange play. Ellis knocked it down. Flipped to second to get a force out, and the flip went past Pennington. The runner Francoeur was tagged out trying to get to third, but it was a hit for Hosmer. Bounces that one back to Ross, and they're going to have Gordon in a rundown. And Hosmer's going to try to get to second, and he will. So Gordon, even though he made the base running mistake, does do his job, stays in the rundown long enough to get Hosmer to second.
Very smart play by Tyson Ross. Get rid of the ball, get it to your infielder. And ideally, you'd like to make one throw after you get the ball. But Tyson saw the runner going, threw to Kuzminoff, and then the run down ensued. And, of course, he had to throw the ball quickly, did Kuzminoff, because Gordon was hustling back to second. A very smart base running by Hosmer to get it back into scoring position.
1-5-6-5 on the putout, and here's Wilson Betemit, hits with 2 outs and a runner at second. Betemit takes a strike in the outside corner. Betemit popped out to Ellis in the second inning.
If he picks off the runner at second, he'll have 9 pitches in this inning too.
That would be quite a play. Inside to Betemit, since nobody's really holding Hosmer on, but you never know.
I just want to keep the 9 pitches per inning intact.
Bettamy drills one foul into the seats. The White Sox and the Mariners will get underway in a little bit. That is also a rubber game of the series. Burley and Bedard. White Sox beat the Mariners last night 6-0. Gavin Floyd with 8 shutout innings for the struggling White Sox. They got the win last night, so that game will start in a little bit. Seattle 16-18, 3 games behind the Angels. 2-2 the count to Bettamy. Bettamy having a good year. The batting average at .315. He's got 16 RBIs. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that's the first strikeout for Ross. So a leadoff walk, but no damage done, and we're headed to the 5th inning. 2-0 A's.
Against the Chicago White Sox. 7,500 kids 14 and under will get a new baseball hat presented by Chevy. See your Northern California Chevy dealer for a great selection of Chevy cars, trucks, and crossovers. Tickets to the game? Call 877-493-BALL or go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
Derek Barton leading it off. He'll be followed by Jackson and Willingham here in the top of the 5th inning. Roll foul. First pitch to Barton was a ball, so the count is 1-1. A couple of runs on 5 hits for the Athletics. No runs on 3 hits for the Royals. Royals have made the only error in the game, and it helped the A's get a run in the first inning. Barton doubled and scored in the first and hit a fly ball to center field in the third. Late call by home plate umpire Alan Porter.
A lot of times a left-handed pitcher does not like to throw off-speed pitches to a left-handed hitter. Francis.
Why is that?
Well, just because they figure if they open up and the ball kind of floats into them, curveball or changeup, it's a very hittable pitch. But I think Jamie Moyer, crafty left-hander, changed all that when they loaded up lefties or righties against him. Ground ball.
Francis leaps up to grab it. Barton's retired.
You know, Kipe, something happened here recently, and I thought it was a very interesting story. A gentleman by the name of Lee Judge, he's a columnist for the Kansas City Star, and he wrote a story after Wilson Betemit was at the plate with the bases loaded, and a pitch, and he was the winning run as a third, a pitch almost hit him. He tried to get out of the way. he wrote a column saying, why don't hitters take one for the team? Why don't they get hit, especially a situation like that?
Okay.
Take one, get hit, and the game is over. And so I don't think some of the Royals players took kindly to that. So what Lee Judge did, which I thought was admirable, got together with Kevin Seitzer, the hitting coach for the Royals.
And Lee Judge is the writer.
He's
who
the
wrote
writer.
The story.
And so he got in the batting cage, took some swings. Kevin Seitzer, Mike McFarland have a batting cage, spent a lot of tokens trying to hit the ball. So they set up the pitching machine in the batting cage. He put on a helmet, and Kevin Seitzer was trying to get the velocity of the pitch that almost hit Wilson Bateman, which was an 81-mile-an-hour slider. So they kept with the gun, 85, 86. 81, they got it. So they said, all right, let's set it up. He stood at home plate and got it right in the side. First pitch, the writer got it right in the side, first pitch. And, of course, Seitzer and some players, Jason Kendall was there. As it turned out, it was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball instead of an 81-mile-an-hour slider.
Oops.
He took it like a champ. The ball hit. He pulled up his shirt, showed the mark, and Kevin Seitzer laughed and said, that's awesome. Wait, it's going to really hurt after a while.
Okay, so there's more to the story.
Oh, there's a lot more to the story.
That's good so far.
I saw him, and I said, let me see this. And I took a picture, and it's on the Internet. And it is the ugliest bruise I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it's about 3 by 3, the bruise,
Takes up his whole midsection.
Yeah. So this writer, hey, I'll give the writer a lot of credit.
Give him a lot of credit. And you know what he said? At the end of the video, he says, I apologize to Wilson Bateman. And he said in a later video, if you're sitting in the stands and you think, why are these guys worried about getting hit with a baseball? Here's proof. And he lifts up his shirt and shows.
That is awesome. Jackson with a single to center field. All right, here it is.
Yeah.
We're going to show you folks. And this is funny. You're going to.
It's close to a 10. The only reason I'm not giving
Judge is the left. Now he's got the gun. They're trying to get the right speed. Okay, here he goes. He gets in 81. Oh! He throws it. First pitch. Bam! Ultramo right there in the love handle. And, that's the way it looked. A little bit of a red spot right there. That's the red spot size of a baseball. Let's see the signature on it.
And you'll have seams.
All right, now there's more to the story.
You hear what Kevin said? About a minute and a half, you'll have seams.
All right, so you saw
baseball
where it hit.
seams.
So a little mark there, right? Just a little mark.
Okay, now if you don't want to look at this, is what the result is. That's what he looks like now after that baseball hit him. So if you think hitters don't want to try to get out of the way, that is why they do. And that's hitting, as he said, if I didn't have so much love handle here, it wouldn't hurt as much or it wouldn't look as bad. But you can imagine a player getting hit on an elbow, a bone someplace.
Unbelievable. Runner out at second base is Jackson. The throw almost pulled Getz off the bag at second. Well, that's a good story.
But he's got the elbow pad and the helmet, but he stood there, didn't try to get out of the way. And can you imagine that was the first ball that was thrown out of the machine, or not thrown, but the machine threw it. He stood there, didn't try to get out of the way, took it like a champ, like a man, and found out it was a 92-mile-an-hour heater. Beautiful.
So you couldn't even hardly see it. There was a little mark there.
Well, that's what happened
initially.
Yeah.
And then the blood starts to rush to the area.
Big time.
Wow.
But and the players, how can you fault the guy who, as we talked about earlier with the umpires, you make a mistake, you admit it, and then you get in and you do it. And he didn't run from it. He jumped in and did it.
Give the reporter a lot of credit.
That's right. Lee Judge.
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's I guess it's funny, but you sort of feel bad for the guy. But he knew what he was getting into a little bit. I think maybe not to the point where his whole body was going to be.
But Ned Yost told me that Friday when I saw him for the first time. He says, "You got to see this guy." He said, and he told the whole story. And I saw him. I said, "You got to show me." And I said, "Oh my gosh!" Took a picture, and of course, the Lair and the boys put it up so everybody could see exactly what can be a result. I mean, you see these players in the clubhouse after the game, after they've been hit. I mean, Kurt Suzuki. I mean, he's hitting now. God forbid he gets hit with a pitch ball. He takes enough off his body with balls that he's trying to block or foul tips. I mean, he's got bruises all over his body.
Yeah, and not every ball that hits a player, whether it be a ground ball, a hit by pitch, it's not always in that area. It's a little bit of a meaty area there, right? If you know what I'm saying. Some people more meatier than others. You know what I'm saying. But you take one in the hand or finger.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's so many small bones in the hand in that area that guys get a ball with their hand against the bat or on the bat, and that's always dangerous.
Suzuki flips one to right. Francoeur toward the line. And that will do it. So Francis gives up the hit to Jackson, nothing else. Bottom of the 5th inning. We give you all kinds of stories here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Ouch. Oh. Brought to you by Hyundai. It's tonight at 10:30 on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. We have highlights from our game here in Kansas City. The Sharks and the Wings, Game 5 tonight down at the Shark Tank. The Sharks will try to wrap that baby up. They lead that series 3-1. And NBA highlights as well. The playoffs starting to narrow things down. Dave Benz, Mindy Bach will be at the anchor desk. Here in Kansas City, the A's trying to win the series, and right now they lead 2-0. Bottom of the 5th inning. Tyson Ross will face Mitch Meyer, Brian Pena, and Cetus Escobar. Ross has given up 3 hits so far. He's walked 1. He has struck out 1. And that was pitch number 41.
This game's similar to the one he pitched against the Angels when he threw just 76 pitches in 7 innings. Around the plate, mostly just the 2-seam fastballs, getting ground ball outs and slider, a couple of change-ups, which change-up is one that's kind of a work in progress. It's a circle change, modified circle change. But he develops that pitch. Ready to show the changeup not used as much. That's the pitch, the slider down and in, that especially in a fastball count, it looks so much like the fastball coming out of his hand, but the slider with a sharp bite on it, in this case down and into the lefty, just not able to make contact.
Two pitches bounce back to the screen. Meyer grounded out to Mark Ellis to end the 2nd inning. Close pitch, 3-2. Payoff pitch is foul back to the screen. Just off the plate, and it's a leadoff walk. 2nd inning in a row, there's been a leadoff walk. Well, we want to know how many games you think the A's will win during their 6-game road trip. Tweet your prediction to @CSN Athletics with the hashtag Invasion, and you may win an authentic beanie courtesy of CSNCalifornia.com. CSNCalifornia.com, your interactive home for A's baseball all season long. 3 more to go on the trip after today. A's 1-1. Ryan Pena tries to bunt, bunts it back to the screen. So the A's will head to Texas. The Royals will head out on the road as well. They will have a 6-game road trip, off day tomorrow, and then 3 in New York, 3 in Detroit. Pops a foul back. So it could be that these Royals will see Justin Verlander in his next start. Verlander, of course, the no-hitter yesterday. Saw a note today. Verlander, obviously his second career no-hitter, 28th pitcher in Major League Baseball history with multiple no-hitters. Checks his swing. Did he go? No.
And a couple of those, not only a no-hitter, but a perfect game. And one of them, in the case of Roy Halladay, during perfect game regular season, no-hitter postseason. Yeah. Good check swing. Good call by Bill Miller at third base on the check swing, as Pena did not follow through with his bat, especially the bat hit.
1-2 to Pena, the switch hitter. Shallow center where Coco Crisp comes in, and he's got it, and that's out number 1. Let's look at the pitching matchups for that series in Texas. Cahill, Anderson, Gonzalez, C.J. Wilson, Colby Lewis, Matt Harrison. Our monitors are kind of small here in Kansas City, so I think that's the 3 matchups.
4 lefties.
Did I get it right?
4 lefties, a couple of righties in the series. There's Gio. Gio got another haircut today. You believe that?
Gets one every day.
Well, he normally gets them when he's pitching, but walk in and I guess Hialeah, Florida. When you're from Hialeah, you want to get tightened up every day.
Yeah, stay tight. So we'll see Gio on Wednesday. That's a day game down in Arlington. The Rangers put Nelson Cruz on the disabled list. Cruz, who spent a lot of time in the DL last year, was good when he did play, but he's back on the DL this season.
Eric Hosmer and Gio Gonzalez, a little bit of a area, say, rivalry. Hosmer's brother faced Gio.
Yeah, that was interesting.
School, rivalry high schools down in Hialeah, Florida. And so Gio a little bit upset when he walked Hosmer twice, first 2 major league at bats, but struck him out with a fastball, curveball, fastball with a runner at second base, the tying run at second.
Well, Hosmer said, "Man, I used to watch Gio pitch in high school. He was awesome."
There they are, a couple of youngsters that have been around baseball and major leagues for a long time, and South Florida, and there's no doubt the Royals made the right decision. Of course, Gio in the big leagues and 3rd year, but for Hosmer, he was ready. Royals made the exact decision that should have been made. Players at the minor league level ready to play in the big leagues, get him up here, forget about monetary consequences. There's no doubt the attendance, the increased attendance because of the young player, who knows, might be enough just to pay us out.
Well, they told us today that they ordered a certain amount of Hosmer jerseys. Yeah. They were gone immediately.
Oh, yes.
And they had to double their order the next time.
Yes,
he's been here 3 days.
Yeah, Mike Swanson said Friday night everything was gone. Yeah. Anything with his name on it was gone. So a franchise player, no doubt, but one of the young players in the Royals organization, and giving the credit to the baseball people making the decision. Dayton Moore, the general manager, a chance to visit with George Brett, Hall of Famer, and what better way to do it?
1-2 to Alcides Escobar, who singled in the 3rd. Outside, Meyer With the leadoff walk, Meyer has good speed. He's at first.
You know, one thing George Brett said about Hosmer, he said, can you imagine your major league debut, first inning, you got a ground ball to you, what do you do? Turns a perfect 3-6-3 double play, and his career begins.
Meyer not running, and the pitch is foul back. This was the first major league hit for Eric Hosmer.
Oh, and he attacks the ball too.
Yeah, he does.
Always up, and that was not any hurry. Let me everybody swing and try to get something. That was an aggressive swing, and that ball is thrown out. First major league hit, first of many, many for the young man.
Swing and a miss. Escobar strikes out, so Tyson Ross wins that battle.
Well, the slider, the hard slider from Tyson Ross, he throws a two-seam fastball, and then how about this one? Just keeps running away from Escobar, young shortstop of the Royals, and tough pitch to make contact.
Well, there's the draft, Ray. That was 2008, where the Royals picked Hosmer third, and there's some names we know on there. Alvarez in the big leagues. Mattis, first Buster Posey was the 5th pick.
See the name Eric Crow in there?
Yeah.
Lyle Weeks with the A's. Brett Wallace had also been with the A's.
And Ike Davis is having a real nice year for the Mets. Gordon Beckham. So hindsight is 20/20. Easy to say, but the Rays probably wish they would have gone in a couple different directions. They picked Tim Beckham, a young shortstop. Now, hey, Beckham may turn out to be a great player. But there's some names on there, real good young pitchers or players that are already in the big leagues and performing.
The Rays are one organization that can't be faulted because they've made some great choices. They had some poor records, but you see the improvement major league level because of homegrown talent since 2008 to the World Series. But I think it's organizations that have the high draft choices that don't draft properly. And A's scouting department, Eric Kubota, and the staff out getting ready for the June draft, which is going to come up very quickly in about a month. They'll be ready.
Strike called to Chris Getz to even the count at 2-2. Getz didn't like the call. And home plate umpire Alan Porter is hearing it from the Royals dugout.
High slider, maybe a changeup, but you know the thing that Porter has done, this is called a high strike there, but he's gotten to the 2-strike count. But how many have you seen him ring up with strike 3 that have looked like pretty good pitches?
.63 pitches now for Tyson Ross. Ross has had 1 3-up, 3-down inning. That was the first. Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. And that is strikeout number 3. So Tyson Ross, good so far as we head to the 6-2 Athletics.
See Sabathia, a whole bunch of New York Yankees, including the former A's Nick Swisher, and the rest of the Yankees for their only visit to the season on Monday, May the 30th through Wednesday, June the 1st at the Coliseum. Tickets are available online, oaklandathletics.com/tickets, and by calling 877-493-BALL. 877-493-BALL. New York Yankees, one trip. Get out and see your A's take on the Yankees.
DeJesus, Ellis, and Kuzminov against Jeff Francis. A's have put a lot of base runners on against Francis. Scored 2 runs. They've stranded 6 through the first 5 innings. 1 walk, 1 strikeout for Francis, and the A's with 6 hits. Down around the knees, strike 1 and 2. Texas 4, the Yankees 2. Bottom of the 4th inning in Arlington. DeJesus popped it up. Foul territory. Hosmer is going to have enough room. Long frame of Hosmer reaches up and makes the catch.
Well, this was last night. Getz, like he had a chance to put the Royals ahead, but David DeJesus robbed him of extra bases. Would not have been a home run, but robbed him nonetheless with a great play. Former Royals outfielder. And the ball that he just hit that Hosmer caught, the wind blowing hard from right to left, kept that ball in play from the make catch. Looked like he's going to the seats, but strong will and definitely helped that one.
Swing and a miss by Mark Ellis. Quickly 0-2. Ellis with a ground out and a base hit. So Mark 2 for 5 in the series. Strike 3 called. 3 pitches. Ellis is gone. He has a beef with Alan Porter.
Well, Mark has seen what we have talked about, and that's getting 0-2. Maybe Alan Porter hurt us because this time 0-2. He decides to go with a strikeout on a pitch that Mark thought was outside. Struggling, you want those close pitches to go your way, and this one did not for Mark.
And they don't.
Never do.
When you're hot, they do. Kuzminov rolls one back to the screen. Kuzminov had a base hit in the 4th inning, so he's 1 for 2. 1 for 6 in the series. He has faced Francis 22 times in his career. Most of the A's do not have career at bats against Francis, but first Kuzminov with the Padres, Francis with the Rockies for a handful of years, so they have battled in the National League West before. Toward the upper deck and into the first row of the upper deck. 91 pitches now for Jeff Francis. Drilled left center field. That's hit deep, and that is gone. Kuzminov homers, and it's 3-0 A's.
Well, that's got to make you feel great. Kuz with 2 in April, this last on the 23rd, and that was a 3-run shot, the only other besides Cliff Bennington. And today, a line drive, no doubter to left center. That did not need any wind help there. Crushed. Great swing by Kuz. Of course, we talk about his setup already ready to unload, and he did perfectly the left center. It's a good run to add on. Sounded great. A's 2 runs in the first, only 1 earned, but this clearly a line drive home run. No help needed by the wind.
So 3rd of the year for Kuzminov. He has a couple hits today. 2 now to Pennington. 4 doubles, 3 home runs in his career against Kuzminov. Game on a 2-2 pitch. Pennington, bouncer, up the middle, Escobar, wheels, throws. What a play by Alcides Escobar. Kuzminov with a solo home run. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's the A's 3 and the Royals nothing. Sixth inning, it is time for the Coors Light Freeze Can. Coors Light Freeze Can is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Bottom of the 6th, Tyson Ross with a 3-0 lead over the Kansas City Royals. He'll face Cabrera, Gordon, and Francoeur. Couple of walks, 3 strikeouts so far for Ross. Just 65 pitches. He walked the leadoff man in the 4th. The Royals could do nothing with it. He walked the leadoff man in the 5th. And the Royals did nothing with it. Off the plate, 2-1. Cabrera has grounded to short twice. Bounces this one off of Ross, who scrambles after it, flips, and he flips over the head of Derek Barton. Cabrera's going to get up, he's going to race to second, and he'll make it standing up.
Well, the 6'6" frame this time might have hurt Tyson Ross as the follow through. He reached up to catch what might have been caught by one of the middle infielders. Instead, he threw it just as high to first to Derek Barton as the ball was high to him and knocking it down.
So it's a single and an error on Ross. So the leadoff man is at second base, nobody out.
One thing about the Royals, they're playing aggressive baseball. There was no hesitation. Francoeur early, he was out. But Cabrera this time, ball did not get that far away from the very good throwing first baseman Derek Barton, but still made it into second base. Like a leadoff double.
Gordon dribbles one slowly to Ellis. So Gordon is retired. Cabrera goes to third.
Tyson tried to flip the ball at the same time as he was going to the ground, but his momentum, when he picked it up, it just carried him with him. I don't think Derek Barton's that tall. If it was reversed, maybe Ross could have caught it at 6'6", but still a very good play. The A's will take the out on Gordon, who was not trying to advance the runner. Cabrera was trying to get a hit, but Tyson made a very good pitch inside, broke his bat.
Francoeur rips at the first pitch and fouls it back. Derek Jeter has homered for the Yankees, his first of the year. It's the Rangers 4 and the Yankees 3, top of the 5th inning.
Almost hit one last night in Arlington. And you know, all the complaints about Derek Jeter not showing any power. Don't ever underestimate what his capabilities are. Don't care how old he is, he's going to be a player right to the end. And a good one.
That game is now tied 4-4, so the Yankees have come all the way back. Oh, 0-2 to Jeff Francoeur, and that pitch up. So this is a strikeout situation for Tyson Ross.
He did a good job. He tried to throw up in the zone with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and so he's gone away from the two-seamer at least to Francoeur trying to get the strikeout.
And he got it. A slider way out of the strike zone, and Francoeur chased it. Big out there for Ross.
Well, and that's so great to have the ability to get ground ball outs, which Tyson does, and then when he needs a strikeout, straightens out the fastball, then a hard biting slider away from the right-hander. And you know, defense of the hitters, it's not an easy pitch because it comes in, you think it's a strike, and then you can't see how quickly it's breaking away from you.
So that is strikeout number 4 for Tyson Ross. Here's Hosmer with 2 outs. Suzuki with a terrific play.
You just get a strikeout, and then the catcher gets a save.
It's a strike on the outside corner to even the count at 1-1. Hosmer has been on base twice, a single, and then he reached on a fielder's choice. Smirk takes it inside, so 3-1.
And go back to two-seam fastball. Ron Romanek looking on, seeing a young man that he's worked very hard with since the Seattle start. And 2 very good starts since then, the Angels and the Indians, and now the third following the first, in which Tyson, under the tutelage of the pitching coach, decided to slow down a little bit. You're rushing everything.
Hosmer rips one right center, and that's trouble. And that is off the top of the wall. Run scores. Hosmer with an RBI double. That was a bullet off the top of the wall.
Well, lucky it wasn't a home run because it was taken off his bat like a shot. Had some topspin, so the ball stayed down against the wall. But again, a very aggressive swing, 3-1, and shows his power. Unfortunately for the A's, hit just below the right field wall. The top of the right field wall stayed in the park, but the fans excited. First RBI for the young man.
Well, that's a nice swing. I mean, he swings very hard, but he's under control.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a powerful swing, and these big kids, 6'4". But it's not a wild swing at all. Look at this.
Wow. Once he starts, there's no holding back with the swing.
No, he's not thinking about whether he should let her go or not.
Exactly.
He is letting it go. So that is a couple of hits, and his first major league RBI. And the Royals are on the board here in the 6th. Here's Wilson Betemit. First extra base hit for Hosmer. Betemit is 0 for 2 and 1 for 6 in the series. He's a switch hitter. And now 2-0. Pitches for Ross. On deck is Mitch Meyer, a left-handed hitter. Careful, you never know. Betemit taken all the way, and that's right there. 3-1.
Tyson Ross with just 27 pitches the first 3 innings, 9 in the first 3. Each of the first 3, but a little bit extra. Of course, he's a big guy. He's got a lot in the tank. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, 3-0. So good challenge heater. Another one.
And Betemit fouls it into the upper deck. So the count is full.
Michael Wirtz, the A's right-hander, one of the A's right-handers in the pen.
Betemit fouls it back again. Just a bit inside, and he walked it. Three walks for Tyson. Now Meyer steps in.
The thing about Tyson Ross in this game, something that you don't see a lot of pitchers in a given start. He had to run to third base, got Francoeur. Then a ball off his glove, had to hurry to first base, flip the ball. So there's been a lot of excessive working by Tyson Ross.
Meyer bounces, and you know, you think, does that really make that much difference? Well, yeah, it does.
Oh, it does.
Especially, I mean, it's hot.
Yeah.
He's working hard. Closing in on 90 pitches.
Well, they're just even just covering first on a ground ball to the right side. And Kurt Suzuki's done a good job today, and of course the training staff went out to check him after he got Francoeur the second, but Kurt Suzuki went out just more than anything, just trying to let him catch his breath, because this is a crucial part of the game.
0-1 to Mitch Meyer. And that one off the plate. 1-1. Meyer, a ground out in the second, and then he walked leading off the fifth. Never got past first base. Inside again. It missed by much, but it looks like it is a little off the plate.
Well, we've seen the Royals hitters be aggressive in hitters' counts. This is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball just off the plate inside. Porter, the home plate umpire, on the right shoulder of catcher Kurt Suzuki, looking right down the barrel.
So the crowd doing the wave. Really nice crowd this afternoon. Not a huge crowd, but most of the lower bowl is full. 2-1 the count to Mitch Meyer. Hosmer at second, Betemit at first. pitch. That's a base hit to right field. Here comes Hosmer rounding third. DeJesus is going to throw back, and they're going to get the out at second. The run does score. The run scored just barely ahead of the tag at second base. So the Royals get a pair. Heads-up play by David DeJesus. You're thinking, well, he's going to take a shot at Hosmer at home. He had no shot at Hosmer, so he throws and hits his cutoff man.
And going back, Hosmer hustling at home plate. Alan Porter watching to see if he scored before the out was recorded at second, and pointed emphatically to plate that he did. But you know, just as we talked last night, this was a play that if the out's recorded at second before the run scores, he's out, and the run does not score, unlike last night, which was, as we explained earlier, fly ball didn't touch the base, but it's the case that Bateman overran the bag at second base. Tremendous play by both DeJesus and Pennington.
Well, not only did DeJesus make the right decision, but he hit his cutoff man. Because if he doesn't hit his cutoff man, well, then it doesn't make any difference.
And, you know, and the difference for the runner, Hosmer scoring, he was running hard thinking the throw was coming to the plate.
Exactly.
If he assumes the ball is going to be thrown someplace else, he might have shut it down.
Sure.
Would not have slid, and all of a sudden, he's not scoring. So Kuzmanov's home run helps the A's as it gets the third run, but the Royals 2 in the 6th inning. Following the Kuzmanov home run, and very quickly a one-run game, and the way the Royals are playing at home, you don't like to see that. You'd like to see some more offense.
Francis reaches down, knocks it down, and that ball was headed to center field, I believe. Coco's not running very well. He's actually limping a little bit as he heads back to the dugout.
I think it's a right quad, and you're right. He's fitting a little bit, and that's what happens when you depend on your legs, because all players do, but especially one with speed, playing the outfield and running the bases. It shows.
He was not close to running 100% down to first base. A guy that the A's have to have in the lineup. So one out here in the top of the 7th. Derek Barton with a double in the first. He's 1 for 3. Just got a note from our great stat man John, who says Andre Ethier hit a home run today, but day too late, as Ethier last night had his hitting streak stopped at 30.
So did Joe DiMaggio in game 58.
Yeah.
57. There was no Hines 57 after the 56-game streak, and he went on for another 10, 15.
Yeah, wasn't it 15? Well, as the story goes, wasn't it the third baseman of the Indians who made a couple great plays, Kenny Keltner, and that stopped the hitting streak at 56.
So Joe running down first base, kicking the dirt.
Yep.
But not nearly the media attention. I mean, who knew in 1941 what 56-game hitting streak was? No big deal.
Nope.
Nobody has done it since. Nobody's even got to 50.
Barton lines one foul.
Trying to think, and have been thinking, since Ethiop's year's hitting streak, when Pete Rose had 44.
78.
That the pitcher of the Braves, in his last at bat.
Gene Garber.
Gene Garber,
Yeah.
Thank you. Threw him like a change-up 3-2, and everybody was mad. What are you going to do? Just lay it in there on the tee?
Yeah.
Said, I'm trying to get him out.
Barton reaches for it, pokes it into center field.
Time now for the forward and right choice, and you talk about defense today. The 6'6" Tyson Ross, what a day he has had. As a ground ball, and this is an unusual play because nobody's covering third, so Tyson Ross with Francoeur going, and Kuzminov led Tyson Ross perfectly and got Francoeur, and just dove right in front of the bag, got his hand at third base, and then attempted also on a ball that was hit back to him and made the error, but great job by Tyson Ross today.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
A's with a 3-2 lead. They have a runner at first with one out here in the seventh inning. So the Royals have gone to the bullpen. We get our first look at Blake Wood, the right-hander. First look in this series. 51 appearances last year, his ninth game so far this year.
And a power pitcher, good fastball, good line fastball. Coming out of the bullpen for Bob McClure and Ned Yost.
So Barton is going to get picked off as now in the rundown. And Hosmer dropped the ball, and Barton's going to get back. So when it's all said and done, Barton's right back where he started. Hosmer threw the ball, but he didn't peel off. He just stayed there, and then the return throw, the runner was almost by him. See, aren't you supposed to clear out after you've made your throw and then hope that somebody's behind you to take over the rundown?
Well, Barton tried to avoid. All he had to do was run into it. That's interference on the fielder. So they give him an error?
No, it is an error, and it's on Hosmer. So that's the second error. First pitch is a strike. So a lot of action, but statistically, it's just an error. Connor Jackson with a couple of hits today. He also has an RBI. Make that 3 hits. He's 3 for 3 with that RBI. So, Ray, we're talking about the hitting streaks. Wee Willie Keeler, 45. That's the second most after DiMaggio. But that was back in 1896. And it went into 97. So it was a carryover from one season to the next.
And he hit them where they ain't.
I heard that about him.
Wee Willie Keeler. He hit them where they ain't.
That's a good nickname for a baseball player. Just a bit inside. The most recent lengthy hitting streak outside of Ethier. Remember Ryan Zimmerman hit for 30 back in 2009, the third baseman for the Nationals.
Who was John Wathan in there? Catcher for the he had stolen bases. I was thinking of Benito Santiago. I think had a 32 game was rookie season.
Yeah. 34 in 1987. I have the list in front of me. This is not off the top of my head.
So
Benito, 34 as a rookie in 87.
I was thinking of John Wathan was catcher for the Royals, had 36 stolen bases.
Did he really?
John. Yeah.
Well, Ethier missed the Dodger record by 1. The Dodger record, Willie Davis hit in 31 straight in 1969, so did not quite get to the Dodger record. Pop up, watch that wind could bring it back. I'm looking for guys that you may have played against or with. Rico Carty, 1970 with the Atlanta Braves. Rico used to play with his wallet in his uniform pocket.
And every time he swung, he was so upset because he thought he should have hit a home run every swing. Played together in Cleveland.
Jackson bounces 1-5.
Molitor was over 40, wasn't he?
He was 39 in 1987, so he was close. Jimmy Rollins had a 38-game hitting streak. That was a carryover, 05 into 06.
Maybe that's why he thought it could be broken, because he had that many, but he was still 18 shy.
Swing and a miss. Jackson strikes out, and that's out number 2. So Blake Wood comes in and gets the strikeout.
All I know is I had a 23, and every day. Hey, I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, nowadays it would be even worse.
Exactly.
Huh? Plus, a hitting streak, you're sort of at the mercy of the pitcher as well.
Yeah.
I mentioned Zimmerman. Zimmerman's hitting streak ended in San Francisco, and his last at bat, runners at first and second. I don't know what the score is. Barry Zito was pitching a wild pitch. Runner moves up second and third. Zito says, well, there's a left-hander in the on-deck circle. I want to face him. They intentionally walk Zimmerman. Now, the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, what can you do, right? And that was his last at bat. He ended up, 0 for 2 or 0 for 3, and the hitting streak stopped. And you don't want to start, you don't want to expand your strike zone or do anything different than you've been doing. So you think about players now who could do it. I mean, you think Ichiro could rip off a hitting streak. That's the guy you immediately think of, because he gets a lot of hits, obviously. He doesn't walk very much. He's got great speed. I mean, he has the whole combination of somebody who could really have a long.
We saw him bunt in Seattle. If he did that more often, who knows how many hits we get. But it's amazing. I guarantee you that Andre Ethier will remember today, after ending it, and what he did. And I'll never forget Ray Culp. This is a long time ago. Ray Culp in Boston Fort Betts, I saw one fastball and I pulled a foul. The next game, hit Kenny Brett for a home run.
Really?
So, I mean, it's just.
So you're saying they may be pitching you a little bit different.
Oh, yeah,
when you
there's
get
no
a hit.
doubt. I mean, Ray Culp was that type of pitcher anyway. He's off-speed type pitcher, but, you know, as you get closer, nobody wants to be a part of that. You know, if you're a pitcher, and it's like the home runs and all that stuff. But I think just more than anything, the media attention for guys as they get, especially in today's world with all the writers and traveling media people.
Willingham, that's a base hit to right field. So Josh Willingham going the other way. So 2 on, 2 out, and the A's could certainly use a couple more runs.
A great opposite field hitting by Josh Willingham. We've seen that from day one of spring training. Uses the whole field. He talked about it in the offseason. Hit a few home runs, but he used the whole field, and he has the 5 home runs, which leads the club. You take those base hits, trying to get something going with 2 outs.
Suzuki 0 for 2 with a walk. In the dirt, nice block by Pena. But we're talking about the Pete Rose hitting streak, and I remember reading an article about that.
Blocked by Pena. The catcher moving to his right. Actually caught the ball, but got his body in front of him.
But somebody said, and it was not Pete, I don't believe, but somebody, I think from a teammate of Pete Rose, said Gene Garber was pitching him like it was the 7th game of the World Series. Yeah. Hello.
That's right.
Why wouldn't he be?
And wasn't Garber the closer?
He was, yeah.
So game's on the line.
It was late, yeah. Why not?
And I don't know that too many pitchers are going to say, oh, he's got a hit streak, he needs to hit my last at bat, I'm going to give him a cookie.
No.
Throw the ball down the middle of the fastball.
Suzuki swings and misses. And Blake Woods throwing some nasty stuff up there.
Well, everything hard, including the slider, which Kurt Suzuki just saw, and no chance. Down low, good slider, good movement.
Gust of wind. Kurt Suzuki calls timeout.
Now Mitch Meyer moving over in right center with a couple of strikes on Suzuki now, even though the wind's blowing from right to left.
Broken bat grounder left side. Betamete flips it across, and the A's get a couple hits, strand a pair. 7th inning stretch from Kauffman Stadium. It's the A's 3 and the Royals 2. Kansas City Royals trying to win the series. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Bob Guerin has gone to the bullpen. Michael Wirtz takes over. So 6 innings from Tyson Ross. He labored a little bit in that 6th inning when the Royals got a couple of runs. So A's bullpen will need to get 9 outs. Three walks, 4 strikeouts for Tyson Ross. Gave up a couple of the runs. So Wirtz, he is making appearance number 7. He's yet to allow a run. Their quality bullpen will be tested today. 89 pitches for Ross.
Well, he started out great, and considering all the activity, he finished very strongly. And another good outing for him in the rotation for the 4th time. And like Landon Powell said, Dallas Braden is improving, and looking forward to seeing him back. And anytime there's a Mother's Day, actually Dallas has pitched for the A's in the back-to-back Mother's Days at the Coliseum both times, the Blue Jays and the Rays. First time, a line drive in the 1st inning off the bat of Vernon Wells. And of course, the 2nd, the one we'll never forget, the perfect game. Peggy Lindsay trying to jump over the dugout, trying to get down to get her grandson. She made it, and that is one we'll always remember.
Brian Pena to lead it off for the Royals here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch is a fastball just a bit outside. Pena 0 for 2. Be followed by Escobar, and then the top of the order, Chris Getz. Well, the A's bullpen is certainly well rested. On Friday night, just an inning from Balfour, an inning from Fuentes, and then last night, the A's lost in the bottom of the 9th. It goes as a complete game for Brandon McCarthy. He was out there the whole time.
Well, that's good to note about that, because when you're trying to get 9 outs to get a win, and not so much the win for Tyson Ross, but for the club, you've got to go to the bullpen. The A's have a good one, especially leading up to the 9th inning, the possible closing situation.
Amazing, though, a complete game, and unfortunately it was a loss last night, but it really does wonders for the bullpen. Tough loss last night for McCarthy. 3-1 pitch is right there for a strike.
All fastballs from Michael Wirtz. Of course, the outstanding slider that looks like a splitter, whether he'd throw it now 3-2. If he did, it more likely be a chase, trying to get Pena to swing at a bad pitch.
There was the slider. Pena reached for it and just got a piece of it.
But I think that's tremendous confidence that Michael Wirtz has in the pitch, that he would throw 5 fastballs before throwing 1 slider, knowing that if he misses, it's going to usually be a pitch out of the strike zone, a ball, and would walk him. So many hitters look at the pitch thinking it's going to be a strike, and then it disappears.
Another one, and Pena hanging in there. Pena, a bouncer back to the pitcher and a fly ball to center field. Another payoff pitch. This one's bounced, and it's just foul. So this would be the 9th pitch coming up from Wirtz to Pena. just a bit outside. A slider that just kind of hung up there. Did not have that sharp break to it, and it's a leadoff walk.
Brandon McCarthy, a perfect game working early in the game. Good curveball. Two-seamer working, and come to base hit in the 5th inning. That was his first one. Good defensive plays all around. So a game in which the A's got a 3-run home run from Cliff Pennington that tied the game. They saw the Royals score in the bottom of the 9th.
Escobar takes a strike. Kuzminoff way in on the grass.
Started sacrificed at Escobar and then brought his bat back like he was going to swing, and maybe with the hard charging Kuzminoff, that was a decision he made on his own.
That one bunted. Barton does charge it hard. They'll throw to first, so the sacrifice completed by Escobar. Pena, the tying run, is now at second.
Derek Bart charging, thinking about going to second base. He looked, strong arm, but decided to put the ball to Mark Ellis, get the sure out at first.
So top of the order, and Chris Getz steps in. Getz stays high. Getz is 0 for 3. Outfield shifted toward left. At least Coco Crisp is. High fly ball, right center field. A long run for everybody. DeJesus and Crisp coming together. And Coco Crisp makes a basket catch in deep right center field. And he was shaded toward left center, so he had a very, very long ways to run.
But also with the flag blowing, that perfect as he got to the ball, and maybe had to make the basket catch because the wind was bringing the ball back. Hit high enough by Getz, almost hit one out last night. This one sounded great off the bat, but Coco cradling it, glove in front of his chest, and got the ball back in with Pena tackling, getting to third easily, but I think the wind might have kept that ball in the yard.
Here's Melky Cabrera. The first pitch is high. Well, Derek Jeter has homered again, Ray. Second time today, and the Yankees have come back to take a 5-4 lead in Texas. That game at the top of the 7th inning. So Derek Jeter helping everybody out in the AL West. Melky Cabrera is 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the 6th inning.
This is where Michael Wirtz has to have the confidence in his catcher, Kurt Suzuki, to block a ball in the dirt. It's a hard slider. That one, a get-me-over slider. Behind 2-0, but Keeper gets in the count with a couple of strikes. He might try to bury a slider like that one.
Alex Gordon is in the on-deck circle. Tying run is at third with 2 outs. Right on the outside corner. Wirtz went with a fastball and
looking slider.
Well spotted.
It's almost as if Cabrera's gone up the sand. I'm going to take and take and take because you're going to throw me the slider and I don't want to swing at a bad pitch. Let's see if he does here.
Payoff pitch. And he went with the slider in the dirt. Cabrera swings at it and Wirtz gets out of the jam. Took a fastball for a strike, swung at a ball. Wirtz is out of the inning. Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek's Showers of Cash win $500 cash every hour from 2 p.m. until midnight. Visit cachecreek.com for details. That's part of the Royals Hall of Fame, which is out in left field. Top of the 8th inning from Kauffman Stadium. A's with that 3-2 lead. George Brett's number 5, one of 3 numbers retired by the Royals. Frank White, Dick Hauser. There's the Hall of Famer, George Brett.
There's Dayton Moore to our left as we look at George Brett. And George said, George, you look like you're in great shape. And he said, you have 3 boys. One of them's graduating high school next week. They keep me in shape. Well, he looks great and still goes to spring training, as we mentioned. And mentioned about outscored his swing the other night. And George brought up a very good point that he's off the plate a little bit. Allows him to go out and get the pitch and doesn't open up as much. So he is a coming very good player. One that he thought would be the next George Brett at third base, but they moved him to left field. And a good one.
David Jesus leading it off. Blake Wood. 2 outs in the 7th inning to get out of the inning. Did give up a hit. He faces DeJesus, Ellis, and Kuzma. Yankees have added another run. They lead 6-4. Top of the 7th inning.
You know who's sitting down by the dugout? Nolan Ryan. He's probably happy there early. He does not hold anything back, showing his emotion. And owner of the club now, always sits down there front and center. We will see him tomorrow night, more than likely. The 3-game series starting tomorrow night in Arlington against the Rangers.
DeJesus is 0 for 3. Off another one.
I mean, a sad day for David DeJesus to have to play his final game here, where he played so many, but still very happy to be in the green and gold. Hopes to help the club win and something special in October. But no doubt, many great memories. He got to relive some of those memories by coming back here this weekend. The only trip the A's will make to Kansas City this year.
This one sliced to left. Gordon coming in, and he makes the catch. Well, I bet David Jesus, when he got traded to the A's, looked at the A's schedule and wanted to see how many times the A's were going to be in Kansas City. Unfortunately, just once.
Well, it is unfortunate. This is a beautiful stadium and great city. And the Royals have to be very proud of the way they have spent a lot of money and renovating an already very good stadium, but even better now. And they will host the All-Star game next year right here in Kansas City.
And we've seen 3 pretty good crowds this weekend, Ray. Today, the crowd, 22,435, which is not a huge crowd, but it's a nice crowd. Friday night, over 30,000. Some fireworks. Last night, just a shade under 26,000, and tonight over 22,000. So the Royals have not been a team that has had real high attendance the last 10, 15 years, but remember they have had just one winning season in the last 16 years, and that was 2003. But we said it last night. I think if this team becomes good, and it looks like they probably will be, I think this place would be rocking.
Oh, yeah.
Hit hard, and that's going to get through into left field. So Mark Ellis is 2 for 4.
Maybe we should highlight every game that we have on Comcast Sportsnet California.
Good idea.
High definition as always. Ball hit hard in between third and short. So Mark Ellis with the pant legs up high. And a 2-hit day. And is always playing right around second base.
And a good day for Kevin Kuzminoff. He homered in the 6th, and right now that's the difference in the game. He also singled in the 4th. So maybe a start for Kuzminoff.
Like the A's are going to bring in Grant Balfour to pitch the 8th inning. So Michael Wirtz 7th, and Balfour, and then Fuentes is hanging on to a 1-run lead.
Ellis with a good lead at first. Throwing hard as he throws that one by Kuzminoff.
Time now for the Fremont Bank play of the game. We'll give it to Kevin Kuzminoff. A big home run. Gave the A's a 3-0 lead. They rose on to score 2 in the bottom half of the inning. There's the 6th inning. So Kuz trying to keep it going here in the 8th. Bottom part of the order doing a very good job for the A's today.
Very close. Kuz took it.
Is that made?
Alan Porter called it a ball.
First of all, it's tough to take this pitch. Secondly, how can you not call it? Pena didn't move his glove. Actually, he brought the glove in towards the plate.
Oh, Mark Ellison. Keep an eye on him. Very good base runner, and every once in a while he'll swipe a bag when the team needs it. Kuzminoff waves at a pitch. So 2 outs here in the top of the 8th.
This is a hard slider, and Kuz opened up, flailed at it, and maybe a little bit off the plate. See the difference with the left-hander, Francis, as he did through the fastball. Got a little bit too much to the plate. Kuz crushed it on 2-2.
So Blake Wood now faces Cliff Pennington, who is 0 for 3. This is his first at bat left-handed today. He's trying to get back over the 500 mark. In the bottom of the 8th inning for the Royals, Grant Balfour throwing. It'll be Gordon, Francoeur, and Hosmer. That's the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Missed again. 3-0 to Pennington.
Wood not paying that much attention to Mark Ellis, so it's not the distraction that's causing him to miss the strike zone. All 3 pitches missing too far outside.
And he missed again outside. So a 4-pitch walk to Pennington.
Here comes Collins. That ball just kept running away from Cliff. All 4 pitches, that same zone. That one ran too far.
So that's it for Wood. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up. Your oil change, tune up, and smog experts.
California is brought to you by Xfinity, TV, phone, and internet. Reinvented. And by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball and help make a moment kids will never forget.
The A's looking for an insurance run or two. First and second, 2 outs, and the A's with a 3-2 lead. And Tim Collins, left-hander, comes in. We saw Collins in game 1 of the series, and he's fun to watch. Just a little guy, but he throws hard, and this is his 19th appearance. So Collins comes in, and the thinking for the Royals was, let's get the switch hitter Coco Crisp to bat right-handed. His numbers have not been as good as left-handed.
You saw him do what the Indians did. Look at this setup. He's looking back at second base.
And there's a first pitch, base hit center field. Mark Ellis will come around to score. The throw to the plate is cut off, and that's a big run for the A's as Coco Crisp, just like he did against Cleveland, swings at the first pitch, and he has an RBI single.
I'm surprised he didn't take the first pitch the way Collins was setting up with his back to the hitter. Tony Sipp delivered the first pitch. Coco Crisp hit that one just like he does this one, right back up the middle. And sometimes the splits on a switch hitter versus righty versus lefty, throw him out the window. He has been swinging the bat very well from the right side, just like he did against Cleveland. No stride and a big 2-out run scoring hit. And that also was in the 8th inning. Happened to be the bottom of the 8th at the Coliseum.
Now, really, the walk to Pennington is the big at-bat in this inning, and then Crisp comes through. Pennington worked a 4-pitch walk, and that came with 2 outs, and then now you got runners at first and second. Coco comes through. So RBI number 12 for Crisp, and the A's lead 4-2. Derek Barton has a couple of hits today.
But when Collins looks in and gets the sign, and then as he comes to the set position, he literally has his back to the hitter and looking straight on at the runner at second base. Watch him turn now and look at second base. Of course, this is the way he throws. It's the way he pitches out of the windup. He turns his back that much in the high leg kick.
It looks like he's looking at the party porch out in right center field. That's what it looks like. If he wants to check it out.
Time he did not look back to second. Do you know how many times do you see a pitcher coming out of the bullpen and will not throw a first pitch fastball just because you figure a hitter, or at times they will throw it thinking he may be taking a strike, see him either for the first time or in this particular situation. But Coco Crisp is a pretty good first ball hitter, and he's done it twice in less than a week.
Now full count. Barton with a single and a double tonight. 3 and 2, 2 outs. So Pennington and Crisp will take off on the pitch. In there, fouls it back. 11 hits on the day for the Athletics. They had a combined 13 in the first 2 games of the series. Runners ready to go again on the pitch. They take off, and that's a swing and a miss. So Collins strikes out Barton, but the A's get a big run, a 2-out hit by Coco Cristo. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 4-2 Athletics. Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. A's scored a pair in the first inning. A little help the Royals air. Fielder's choice. A's got a run here, so it was 2-0 early on. And Kevin Kuzmanoff added a run for the A's with a solo home run. That was in the 6th inning, so it was 3-0 A's. Royals came back with 2 in the bottom of the 6th, but Coco Cristo with a big 2-out RBI hit. That was in the top of the 8th inning. So 4-11-1 for the Athletics, 2-6-2 for the Kansas City Royals. It's a 3-hit game for Connor Jackson. Tyson Ross went 6 innings, gave up a couple of runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So that is where we are at right now. Bottom of the 8th inning from Kauffman Stadium. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Grant Balfour comes in here to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning. So Wirtz pitches the 7th, Balfour here in the 8th. Good numbers for Balfour in the early going, 1.93 ERA. This is appearance number 16.
A little breathing room now with the extra run in the top half of the inning. Michael Wirtz a good job in his inning. Grattan Balfour looking for a shutdown after the A's scored the run.
So Gordon, Francoeur, and Hosmer against Balfour. First pitch is a strike to Gordon, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. A little pop-up on the infield. Kuzmanoff is back, step onto the grass, and he's got it.
Balfour with his normal green and gold necklace has added the pink necklace a lot of guys are wearing. The Susan B. Coleman Cancer Research on Mother's Day.
There's Francoeur. Guess what, Ray? Somebody almost had a no-hitter today again.
Oh, no.
Anibal Sanchez from the Florida Marlins carried a no-hitter into the 7th inning today.
It's nothing now, Dave. Got to go at least 8.
Finished allowing a couple of hits. He had 11 strikeouts. A shutout win for the Marlins. That was against the Washington Nationals. And Anibal Sanchez, I believe he did that a couple weeks ago because we were watching it somewhere.
Did he have one a couple years ago?
He has one, season? Yeah, a while back. He no-hit somebody deep into the game earlier this year. We'll see that Florida Marlins team interleague play. They're pretty good.
Yes, they are.
There's three very good teams in that National League East: the Phillies, the Marlins, and the Atlanta Braves. Phillies will be the night game tonight. Phillies and the Braves. 3-1 pitch. Francoeur takes a big rip, fouls it back. So a full count with Hosmer in the on-deck circle.
Somebody just yelled out. I don't know if Francoeur kind of looked up. I don't think it was him after he missed the 3-1. I think it was more of Grant Balfour trying to get himself pumped up for this 3-2.
Very close and a bit low.
Well, last inning, with the runner at third base, we talked about Michael Wirtz' great slider. How about this block by Kurt Suzuki? Actually, a catch. That had been going for the strikeout, actually swing. I mean, Kurt Suzuki backhanded the ball, with the ball bouncing about 6-8 inches out in front of him. Made the scoop, tagged out the hitter. But remember, there was a runner at third, and that was the tying run at third base. So Kurt Suzuki, a tremendous job, knowing that Michael Wirtz has that hard-biting slider, looks like a splitter. Called for it, got it, and kept the A's with a 1-run lead. Now it's up to 2, but got a runner at first base.
First pitch to Hosmer is a strike on the outside corner. Hosmer, a single and a double, and an RBI and a run score. So this will be a fun matchup. Balfour against Hosmer. Right there again, 0-2. Balfour painting the outside corner. Wilson Betemit is in the on-deck circle. Bounce to Ellis. Big hop to Pennington on to first, and they got the double play. 4-6-3, and that will do it for the Royals. We go to the ninth. 4-2 A's.
Donation to assist with the relief effort through A's outfielder Josh Willingham's Foundation. Donations are tax deductible. 100% of the funds will benefit the victims in the area. For more information, visit www.thejoshwillinghamfoundation.org. Repeat, the Josh Willingham Foundation, one word, .org. So we hope you help those folks, especially in the southern part of the country, southeastern part, with all the tornadoes and even the flooding now that's going on. So we hope all those folks are doing well.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Lewis Coleman takes over. Another impressive young arm out of this Royals bullpen. Lewis Coleman. Swing and a miss. Coleman, a rookie, 6'4", 210-pounder, 24 years old. Just a couple years in the minor leagues, and he had terrific minor league numbers, all in relief. And on 3 pitches, Connor Jackson is gone. Okay, so he's got a good slider.
A double play, get the A's out of the 8th inning. Watch Mark Ellis, nice feed, but Cliff Pennington, watch this. A cannon, because Hosmer gets down the line quickly, but watch Penny with a great feed from Mark Ellis, got out of the way of the hard slide and unloaded a bullet to first base. And boy, it's nice to have the cannon at second to turn the double play, which Pennington does so well.
So 1 out for Willingham. 1 for 4 with an RBI, a single. He's reached a couple times, fielder's choice. Yankees 6, Rangers 5, top of the 8th inning. Curtis Granderson is homer, so the Yankees using the long ball today. Jeter with a couple of home runs. Indians with a 2-0 lead over the Angels, bottom of the 5th inning, and the White Sox and the Mariners 0-0, top of 4.
Say something about Granderson?
Another home run.
Wow, he's got 11.
Yeah, he's got a bunch.
Saw all the home runs he hit at America Park, but last year, and boy, he's hard on his swing.
It's funny too, Rays. You know, last year at the end of the year, the kid the Tigers got, Austin Jackson, he had a very nice year, rookie season, and most people are saying, man, that's a pretty good deal for the Tigers, and it still probably will be. But now, Granderson's having a huge year, and Austin Jackson is struggling big time. There's that slider. Willingham takes it. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Another drop-down slider, of course. Looks like several of the pitchers out of the bullpen turn their back to the hitters, which makes it a little bit tough to pick up the ball. They hide it well. And you're seeing Coleman for the first time, and he is throwing the very, very good slider, good sinker. You know, the Yankees always want veterans. Yeah. It's kind of tough for them. And
yeah, you can't blame them.
Yeah, they've always won, and you know, to have a rookie like Austin Jackson play center field, they'd rather get Granderson, no doubt. But always known he could hit home runs, and he's shown it this year.
Kurt Suzuki is 0 for 3 with a walk. In the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Betamete, who's a switch hitter, Mitch Meyer, a left-handed hitter, and Brian Pena, a switch hitter. And they will bat against Brian Fuentes, the A's closer. Swing and a miss. And the Royals have 5 rookie pitchers in their bullpen. Lewis Coleman is one of them. And the young man in this inning has been very impressive. Another 1-2 pitch. There's that sweeping slider, and it stays outside.
It's a hard one to take, but he did it nicely.
Kurt, battling this young right-hander, has worked the count full.
Now, if you pick up the slider, the sweeping slider, you're a right-hander. You see the break, you know it's going to be moving, and if he starts in the middle of the plate, you think it's going to be out of the strike zone. That's what Suzuki has done on a couple of the sliders.
That one's driven to left. Gordon's going back, and it is over the bullpen home run, Suzuki.
Well, that's a classic, great at bat by Kurt Suzuki. And he takes the sliders, gets a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and just reacts, and it's gone. The guys in the dugout saying, wait a minute, how'd you do that? He just threw some nasty sliders. Fastball belt high. And Kurt Suzuki, very quick swing. Second this month. Fourth of the season, third against righties. And that was a big one.
So another insurance run. The A's with one in the 8th and one here in the 9th. And it's now 5-2.
We talked at the beginning of the game, the right-handers with the wind blowing right to left. With the wind blowing right to left, the elevation, and you talked about over the bullpen. That was smoked. Almost like the one Bobby Crosby had a couple of years ago off the Hall of Fame, the Royals Hall of Fame in left field. But I don't think he needed much help with that. Nice additions to Kauffman Stadium, the showcase next July for the All-Star game. And a lot to show when the world sees the 2012 Mid-Season Classic. It's a great sight. If you're ever back in Kansas City, go in and see the Royals Hall of Fame. Some great things there. And I always like to see the George Brett baseball, or the number 5 with the baseball for every hit.
Mm-hmm. Somebody spent a lot of time.
Magnificent piece of artwork. Yeah. Waste a lot of baseballs drilling them to get it done, but it's beautiful.
Strike 3 called to DeJesus. So Coleman strikes out 3, but in between, Kurt Suzuki with a home run. So the A's have a 5-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the 9th in Kansas City.
Coliseum May 14th, and you get a Mark Ellis bat. And it's Mark Ellis Bat Day. 7,500 kids 14 and under will receive an Ellis signature bat presented by Ross Dress for Less. For tickets, call 877-493-BALL or go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
A's 5, Royals 2, bottom of the 9th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Oil Change Tune-Up from Spog Experts. The closer, Brian Fuentes, comes in. So it's been Ross, Wertz, Balfour, and now Fuentes here, bottom of the 9th. He'll face Wilson Bettamy and then a pinch hitter, Micah Vilas. And then Brian Pena is scheduled to hit third in this inning. So the A's with a 2-out run in the 8th. And then a 2-out run in the 9th, and 2 very important runs to turn a 3-2 game into a 5-2 game. And the Royals, one thing they've done this year, racing out to their 19-15 record is they've won a lot of games late. So any insurance runs are good against these Royals right now.
I think that's the biggest thing. And when you have a 1-run lead, it makes it very difficult, especially with a team that feels they can win any game. And I'm sure they're thinking right now they can come back. So a 3-run cushion helps. Brian Fuentes trying to do what Michael Wirtz and Grant Balfour have done, and that's get through 2 innings, make it the 3rd, get to 9 outs, following Tyson Ross, and head to Texas.
Fuentes got the save in the game on Friday night. He's driven to center. Chris going back, still going back. He's right near the wall, circles around it, and makes the catch. So out number 1. Make sure you join us tomorrow. The A's open up that 3-game series in Arlington against the Rangers. Trevor Cahill against C.J. Wilson. That is your pitching matchup. The coverage begins at 4:30 with A's pregame live. Complete A's coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and on CSNCalifornia.com. The home of the A's is Comcast Sportsnet California. So Cahill and Wilson will go at it tomorrow night from Arlington. The Yankees have opened up that game. We got a grand slam from Francisco Cervelli, the backup catcher. So it's now 10-5 Yankees over the Rangers in the 8th inning. So we know of 4 home runs by the Yankees. Aviles, the pinch hitter, rolls one foul, so it's quickly 0-2.
The Yankees, of course, had a lot of home runs at their home park. Start the season, you have their power, you can hit them anywhere.
And the Yankees and the Rays coming into today tied for first place, and the Rays won their game today. Oh, 0-2 to Mike Aviles, pinch hitting for Meyer. It's jammed, fouls it back. Tampa Bay beat Baltimore 5-3. Davis the winner, Ferguson the loser. Brad Penny won again. He's now 3-3. The Tigers beat the Blue Jays 5-2. White Sox 2, Mariners nothing, bottom of the 4th. Indians 2, Angels nothing, bottom of the 6th. Maybe it will be a good day for the A's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian Pena waits in the on-deck circle. Aviles again fouls it back.
Mark Teixeira with the home run. Who hasn't hit a home run for the Yankees?
So it's now 12-5.
Nick Swisher hit one last night, upper deck in Arlington, and a jet stream. I don't think it needed much help.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that's 2 outs here in the ninth.
A good fastball upstairs, and just a big swing by Aviles, although one of those leading base runners, but that was a big swing with 2 strikes.
So Brian Pena steps in, the switch hitter. Pena 0 for 2 with a walk. Fuentes trying to wrap it up. And the first pitch is a strike. And you get Tyson Ross, his 2nd win, but his first win as a starter this year. Tyson gave up 2 earned runs in 6 innings. Fuentes with 8 saves, among the league leaders. Driven to right. DeJesus is back. He's got it, and that's the ball game. So the A's come to Kansas City, and they win 2 out of 3 by taking today's game final score of 5-2. So Tyson Ross gets his 2nd win of the year. He's 2-2, and give Brian Fuentes the save, his 9th. Good work by the bullpen. Wirtz, Balfour, Fuentes, 3 shutout inning. So took 2 hours and 59 minutes in front of 22,435. 5-2 is your final. A's win it. Don't go away. A's post-game live with Jim Kozimor and Greg Cadaret starts right now.